Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for all of our men and women in the military that protect our freedom every day. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published the notice on December 18, 2015. It should be so noted in the minutes of the meeting. Councilman Anderson, Councilman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Ficarra, Councilman Major.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan, Councilman Small. Here. Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Vice President Delina. Here. President Trump.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes and the work session minutes from March 1st, 2016?
Make a motion. Second.
Any comments or questions from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The first reading of second reading ordinance listed as letter A on your agenda this evening. This is an amendment to section 24 of the Fire Prevention Code, and this is to adopt an ordinance which would prohibit the casting of snow or ice on established fire zones. I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open.
Make a motion. Second.
Any comments or questions from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only. Seeing no comment, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted, and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Make a motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is a second reading ordinance on a bond ordinance amendment. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Make a motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. Seeing no comment, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted, and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Make a motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letters C and D are first reading ordinances by consent. Can I get a motion that both ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on March 18, 2016, with notice of public hearing to be held on April 5, 2016 at 7 p.m.?
Make a motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And Madam President, resolutions 1 through 34, if I get a motion to approve them by consent.
Make a motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
I just have one comment. I think resolution number 4, if I could just note that, I think it's supposed to be June 15th. That's a Wednesday. I think it's just a mistype or something. If you want to double check that for me. I think they're usually like every the third Wednesday of...
Yeah, it might be a typo. I'll double check it for tomorrow. Okay. With that possible correction, any other comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. So
Okay. We'll move into the agenda portion of the meeting. I will start with a few announcements. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm jumping the gun here. I'm sorry, Mr. Trabalka. Public portion of the meeting, if anybody has any concerns, go to the microphone, state your name, where you live, and the maximum amount at the microphone is 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
That's what I said.
Down from 10? What, a cost cutting or what?
It's 5 minutes.
Oh, man, 5 minutes, okay.
The clock
I'm
is
on a clock
running.
now, okay. Now, are we taping? You got tape in there? We're taping, right?
We're always taping.
Okay, you're always taping.
Always.
All right, it's been a few weeks, haven't been here. North Park Drive over there, it's been ripped up and stuff, the grass and everything on the side. I told him about it, he knows about it. Take care of that. Pathmark over by Hopelon, they closed that down. There's been like an uptick in graffiti and stuff like that on buildings. I gave Mr. Delina, Council Delina, a quick heads up, and let them take a look at it. Most notably, there's a Chris Anderson, a building. He fixed the building up nice, and there's graffiti on it. So check with that, and run a couple more patrols over there too.
Which building? Chris Anderson?
Chris Anderson Roofing. It's an
Okay.
old thing on there.
Okay.
It's next to Pathmark down there. Okay. Run a sweep or two down to Brunswick Avenue and stuff like that. Because with the thing coming up, nice weather. Make sure we get that over there. Anything on the Greenway? We doing anything? We're gonna have any type of a meeting or anything? Did they get any bids? Any work coming out?
I don't know, Councilman Delina?
Nothing.
Nothing going on.
Oh yeah, try and have a meeting and stuff like that, either in the Ford's Library, stuff like that. Let's see now. The power plant. It's not in operation. CPV. It's not working yet. It's not hooked into the grid.
Not to the best of my knowledge, Mr. Landolfi.
They're up and running, at least in startup mode. At least in startup mode.
Okay, that's good on that. Okay, on tonight's agenda, number 25, agreement, Peak Environmental, LLC for professional environmental services for site investigation, Hess property, in the amount to exceed $26,000. That's the Hess building?
No, that's the final phase of the environmental assessment that they did over in Port Reading by
Okay.
Milos Way.
We going to get that money back, or nobody knows?
They're still doing their investigation.
Yeah, if we end up being given the property by the Hess Corporation, that's our anticipation, then we wouldn't seek to recoup that if we're getting the property for free. So it'd be a pretty good deal.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here now. Just something about the parking lot over by Woodbridge Center. That was going to be public property. Did you know anything about that, or?
I'm not quite sure what part of the parking lot you're talking about.
I briefly saw it on there, and it was supposed to be Woodbridge property or something like that.
Woodbridge Center?
Yeah, one
Mall?
Woodbridge Center Drive on it. I'm going to get
In the parking lot?
Yeah, in the parking lots. Yeah. So I'm going to ask Mr. Mitch for the prior handouts and see if I can get it off of there. And what's this thing on number 31? Resolution authorizing to reimburse property owners for costs involved in improving the intersections of Woodbridge Center Drive in the amount not to exceed $15,000. Is that private property or?
I just talked to Mr. Landolfi about that.
Yeah.
When they do any type of improvements in the intersections with the easements and such, if there's any encroachment on the properties, they are able to reimburse them for that.
Okay, that's it. All right, and this has been on everybody's mind and stuff like that. That incident with the police officers, the two that tried to cover up for the one over there. Can I have the name of the officer that was involved in the motor vehicle accident?
Mr. Landolfi? Do you want
The
to?
short answer is no.
Why not?
They're still under investigation.
It's still under investigation.
Were you going to cut a deal with him or with the other officers or what? Nobody
No, we
knows.
said we're cutting any deal with anybody. We just said it was under investigation, so we're not allowed to give you the name at this time.
Is there a cop car cam of the incident, or do we know?
What do you understand?
It's still under investigation. That's all I can say right now.
It was from, what, May 25th? And it's already now what? You got the cop, was the cop drunk, on drugs, or what?
Still under investigation, so we can't give you that information at this time.
Internal Affairs is looking into it along with the prosecutor's office?
It's still under investigation.
Oh, okay. All right, well, don't you think it's about time we get the body cams for the cops in the town? This way, everybody would be honest on it. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You hear me, and what are you saying? You're not doing nothing. I mean, Edison is getting the body cams, Carteret, stuff like that. They're really needed to keep everybody in this township honest. You got the drunk cop riding off duty, and his buddies are trying to cover for him. Okay?
Do you have anything else?
That's it, Mike. How many minutes I got?
You're done.
I'm done. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Robert Mezzi, you all right? Robert Mezzi, 434 Alpine Street, Perth Amboy. I went to the Crunch during the winter time, tried to join. I couldn't catch my breath, so I was sitting down, and a gentleman asked me to come on. One of the guys said, wait a few more minutes, and he come back again. He gave me a hard time. He threw me out of the place, and he told me never to come back. I couldn't, I was Couldn't catch my breath. Is he allowed to throw me out and tell me not to come back? I can't understand that. I didn't do nothing. And another thing, I support Lisa Nathan for president over Fernando Isri in Perth Amboy. She's a very good president, council member in Perth Amboy. She's very fair.
Sir, this is Woodbridge, not Perth Amboy.
I understand that, but...
We don't really need to hear that.
Okay. Can I talk about the judge in Perth Amboy?
No.
No.
Well, what happened to freedom of speech? That's why I came here.
The Crunch Gym that you're talking about, was it the Crunch Gym in Woodbridge?
Yes, right across the street from the shopping.
And how long ago did that take place?
In the winter time.
Oh.
And I felt real bad. I couldn't. And how could he tell me to leave and never come back? I can't understand that. And I want to thank you guys for having good concerts at back at the high school. Very good. You guys keep.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that keeps me going all year round. I want to thank
You're welcome.
Woodbridge Center,
Woodbridge Center.
ShopRite. I go to ShopRite in Woodbridge a lot, and the shopping center I go there a bit. I like to know, Samsung, does he have a Chevrolet new dealership? I'm thinking of buying a new Chevy Malibu.
I'm not sure what they have at that.
They don't have it on US 1. So I can't talk about anything in Perth Amboy what happened to me.
Well,
that I got
this is
fined.
Woodbridge Township, so...
I understand that. I'm always in Woodbridge. I'm more in Woodbridge than in Perth Amboy. But the mayor said, spend the bucks in your town, I'm spending them here. Believe me.
Perth Amboy has meetings as well, Councilman.
Yes, I know. I go there too, miss.
Okay, good.
I go all over, but I want to make my point what happened to me. And I can't say nothing negative about Perth Amboy, right?
Well, it's not...
Well, that's the reason freedom of speech. You know...
There's nothing that our town council administration could do if it happened in Perth Amboy.
Well, I want the people to know what's going on with me. You know, an old guy. You know, I don't do nothing. All I do is rake the leaves, wash the car, and go to the movie. There's a guy, he sees me at the movies all the time. The guy with the red shirt.
The guy with the red shirt? Hey, we know him.
I'm always a movie guy.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, you guys are good with the concerts, and, you know, I get a lot of activity against me in Perth Amboy. I can't say nothing. Well,
I'm sorry that it's not good for you.
Yeah, well, there was a couple times, too. I had a couple bad problems at the Quick Check. I was picking in them, and some guy said, I'll shove that sign up you know where. And I waved into a police car. Woodbridge, he just rode by me. I went to complain. Nobody listens. They don't listen to the seniors.
When was that?
That was a couple years ago. I went. I like that you guys come back to me and ask me questions. The Perth Amboy, they're mum. They don't say nothing except Lisa Nathan. She's very nice.
Oh, good.
And the Crunch is very. How could they throw an old guy out? I'm trying to join. I couldn't catch my breath. Don't come back anymore. Could you answer that question? Why can't I?
No, I can't answer that question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you, but that's just not in our jurisdiction. It's a private matter.
A private matter. Well, they're paying taxes to you guys, and I'm a citizen. Like I said, I listen to Mayor McCormick more than Diaz. I come here and spend the money. You know, it was very rude, very rude.
Yeah, I agree.
I even every Wednesday and Friday I patronized at McDonald's for filet sandwich and fries. I go there all the time. So, like I says, I'm more in Woodbridge. Is that the time?
Yes.
Okay, time ran out for you, Crunch, but I'll come back.
Okay. Take it easy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other comments from the public?
Motion to close the public session.
Okay.
Comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Well, now we'll go into the agenda portion of the meeting. I have a few announcements. On behalf of Councilman Ficarra's absence, I just wanted to report that we had the Mayor's Wellness Healthy Cook-Off at Wegmans last week, and it was quite a success. We had done it a little bit different this year with the high schools being the chef. So they teamed up with chefs from Wegmans, and they had all different. It was Woodbridge High School, JFK, Colonia, and then the Wegmans culinary team, and of course the mayor. And JFK won overall culinary overall competition. So we wanted to thank them publicly for their community advocacy and working with our students in Woodbridge Township. It was a great event. I wanted also to mention that the St. Patrick's Day this past Sunday was very successful. Apparently it was the most that we ever had in attendance. It was a nice day. And I just wanted to thank the American Irish Association and everyone that works on the parade committee. It was really, really a true success. Councilman Anderson asked me to report on the Independent Club of Colonia that had a celebration for Black History Month on March 6th. That was very well attended, and he wanted me to thank Phil Hall for all of the effort that he put forth in that celebration. Number 9, Youth Leadership Council. The next meeting is Wednesday, April 13th at 6:30 at the Evergreen Center in Colonia. You may contact Shirley Genti-Voigt at the Department of Health if you have any questions. 17, the Buy Local program. We have our next committee meeting on Thursday, March 24th at 5 o'clock in the Mayor's Conference Room. We're always looking for more people to put onto our committee. So you may contact Jeff in the Mayor's office or myself if you're interested in joining us. Number 18, PACE. There will be a Walk for a Difference, Woodbridge. The POAC, which is the Parents of Autistic Children, have an annual walk every year. It's more than a walk, though. It's there's a carnival, there's a bouncy house, and there's a whole bunch of real fun things and vendors there. It starts at 11 o'clock at Matthew Jago School, and you can always go to the POAC website for more information. Number 19, the Chamber of Commerce. There are many events that are coming up. We have a new chamber member luncheon on March 30th, a Cinco de Mayo networking event on May 4th at Isabella's in Ford's, one of our new businesses on New Brunswick Avenue. Join the chamber. We have a street fair coming on Main Street in Woodbridge here on May 14th. It's all-day affair. There's a golf outing on June 6th at the Colonia Country Club, and you can go to the Chamber of Commerce website to get all the details. All the events are listed accordingly. Debbie, on behalf of Debbie Meehan, our councilwoman from Colonia, she wanted me to announce at Colonia Middle School on March 26th from 1 to 3, there's an Easter bonnet parade and egg hunt. If you're all invited to attend that. And the township is having at Parker Press on March 19th an egg painting and an Easter parade. The egg painting requires pre-registration from 9 to 10:30, and the Easter parade is from 10:30 to noon over at Parker Press. Let's see what else. Oh, we have a Fitbit challenge coming up in April. So the mayor, it's going to be called Mayor Max Fitbit Challenge. So if you have a Fitbit or you want to be in the challenge, you can get one. More details will be on the Mayor Max Facebook. So stay tuned for the details on that. And a couple more announcements. The Knights of Columbus in Woodbridge on March 20th, Palm Sunday breakfast from 8 to noon. March 25th, Friday, fish dinner from 4:30 to 7:30. And I just wanted to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day, if you're going to get the news feed before then. And there's a Big Wheels Day coming up in Woodbridge, one last thing for Youth Month, which is in April. And that is going to take place on Wednesday, March 30th, from 11 to 2 at the Woodbridge Center Mall in the parking lot. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Okay, Councilman Delina?
If you'd like, you can make some announcements for me, too, if you'd like.
No, you're here.
Oh.
Inappropriate.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, my agenda is basically in order, but I will be adding to my agenda the Ford's business community. which has formed, and they had their second meeting last week, and it's growing, it's getting bigger, and it's becoming more organized now. They have their board, so I'm very happy to see that, especially McLaughlin. She's doing a great job. She's definitely motivated. I went with her, took her right up and down New Brunswick Avenue, taking a look at some businesses, and just laying down the history of New Brunswick Avenue, King George Road, and Ford's. So she's very aggressive, and hopefully if there's any Ford's business owners, whether it's New Brunswick Avenue, King George Road, or anywhere, you're more than welcome to join their the Ford's business community, business district of theirs. So they meet once a month. They usually meet in the morning. So if you have any questions, just give the mayor's office a call, and you can inquire over there, and then you can get the information for her phone number. And I guess that's about it. And also, just wish everyone a happy Easter, a healthy one, and a safe one. Thank you.
Councilman Major?
Thank you, Council President. A few items on my agenda. I received an email report from Basque in the engineering department with the concept plans that are being put together by the consultant for the county. And this is in regard to the intersection of Oak Tree Road with Plymouth and Magnolia. And there'll be some restriping and redirecting of traffic, replacement of one of the utility poles that will be in the way of the rehab. The traffic signal will go from a 2 posting signal to 4, and there'll also be resurfacing. So I'm glad to see that going along. I will review those plans and offer some comments, but just my initial thoughts on that. Mr. Thompson, I'm not sure if you could answer this, but the crosswalk timing, do we have any details on the crosswalk timing itself as to how that's going to work?
No, this is just a concept plan. The actual design hasn't started yet, so we won't have that information until the formal design is completed.
Okay, and another item related to that, and I know somebody may push back and say it's beyond the scope, but it's within feet of what we're talking about. Would really like to see if we can get a little bit of streetscape or planting or something along the Plymouth side. There's some dumpsters and things that are in the way. This has been an issue that we've brought up several times. We've gotten some cooperation from the owners, but if we can add that to the project, I would be grateful for that. Is there any update on the cost estimate regarding the pedestrian safety along Magnolia in terms of what we've looked into?
The sidewalk, the original estimate that was submitted to the administration was approximately $650,000.
Thank you. Mr. Haggerty, will we have a press release coming out soon for Earth Day, Arbor Day, and the Multicultural Day over at the Community Center?
All of the events are currently posted on the highlighted events section of the Woodbridge Township webpage, and the actual press release will be going out closer to the events in April.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. And that's all I have this evening.
Councilwoman De Jesus?
Thank you, Madam President. Item number 6, Police Community Relations. Tomorrow, March 16th, Detective Sino will be at Woodbridge High School for the police interaction class. I believe that's Mr. Perry's class. On Thursday, March 17th, the Community Affairs Division will attend a county bias meeting. On Friday, March 18th, Detective Zeno will be very busy. He will be at the following schools reading to the students. He will be at Woodbine Avenue School, Lafayette School, and School 4 and 5 in Avenel. On Tuesday, March 22nd, Detective Sino and Detective Slotsberg will be at Colonia High School for the police interaction class. They will also attend the mayor's wellness meeting that day. And on Thursday, March 24th, they will attend the mayor's bike safety meeting. And I would personally like to recognize Officers John Pagels, Officer Justin Kagoin, and Officer Michael Cifelli. I was on Saturday, unfortunately, I was at the hair salon, and someone there had a heart attack. And the first responders were 3 Woodbridge police officers, and they were very cool, calm, and did what they had to do and kept all the ladies there calm. Trust me, we wanted to freak out, but the fact that they walked in, did what they had to do, I'm very thankful that they were there. They did what they were trained to do. They did it fast, efficiently. So again, hats off to our Woodbridge Police Department. Number 10, Barron Art Center. The Barron Art Center is going to present a lecture series titled The Grand Tour Armchair Visits to the Great European Museums, presented by Marianne Zalata. On March 30th, we could visit, not personally, but we could see the Louvre, the great museum in Paris, France. On May 25th, they will host the Hermitage, which is the one at St. Petersburg, Russia, which I had the opportunity to visit back in 1994, and is absolutely amazing. And on June 22nd, they would visit the National Gallery in London, England. All dates start at 7:30. Reservations are required, so please call 732-634-0413. They will also host our Woodbridge Township High School students' works from March 26th through April 12th. The reception will be on Tuesday, April 12th from 7 to 9. So please come out and support our talented youth and go visit their exhibit at the Barron Art Center. Again, that's from March 26th through April 12th. Thank you, and that's all that I have.
Councilman Spiller?
Thank you, Council President. Item number 3, under tonight's resolutions, you see the township has entered into an agreement with Rutgers University and their Wildlife Conservation and Management Program for professional services at Ernest Oros Wildlife Preserve. Excuse me. Just to mention some of the programs we'll be getting for the preserve is a Bio Blitz event, which pairs scientists with the public who then can participate in events at the preserve and ask questions. Additionally, public programming which will include wildflower, bird, butterfly, and bat walks, as well as delivery of interpretive signage. Item number 8, I just wanted to give an update on the Route 1 redevelopment corridor. I previously reported that we were anticipating a new McDonald's at the former Bud's Hut site. The redevelopment agency received word from McDonald's corporate headquarters that their demographic study for the site did not support the construction of a new restaurant there, and they've withdrawn their plans to construct on the property. Excuse me. The agency and the administration are actively working with the developer and a real estate broker to find a tenant suitable for that location on the Route 1 redevelopment corridor. Mr. Mitch, if you can, please just have McDonald's removed and just leave it as Bud's Hut. Item number 9, Avenel Fire Department recently hosted a successful township-wide drill that was attended by township and out-of-county fire departments on the medevac. The drill consisted of the state police giving us a classroom presentation and then an actual landing and tour of the medevac at the cricket fields at Avenel Middle School. Unfortunately, when we see the medevac, most times it's for somebody that's being transported that was seriously injured, so it was nice to be able to see it up close and work with it in a non-emergency setting. Finally, I'd like to congratulate the Port Reading Fire Company and the Port Reading First Aid Squad on being awarded first place at this past Sunday's American Irish Association St. Patrick's Day Parade. So, good, nice job. That's all. Hold all of my other items, please.
Councilman Small?
Thank you, Madam President. My agenda is in order tonight. I just have one announcement. I'd like to congratulate the Woodbridge High School girls competition cheering team on winning a state championship on March 8th. Yes. This is a program only in its 4th year, and to win a state championship this soon is very inspiring.
Wonderful.
So to Coach Gulitz and the girls, congratulations. That's all I have to say.
That's great. Excuse me, Councilman De Jesus, do you want to say something?
Yes, I just want to make an announcement. I believe this Saturday is the Mayor's Trophy basketball championship at Colonia High School?
Yes.
Yes? So it's this Saturday all day, various of our recreation teams. The kids are going to be there competing against one another. Again, that's this Saturday at Colonia High School. Thank you.
So if they needed to get more information on that, they could go to Recreation. I think Brian Molnar has all that information, correct? Okay. And before we move to Mr. Mitch, I just was going to ask Director Hubner if you could just say a few words about the Street Smart event that they had out there for pedestrian safety, if you don't mind.
For the month of March, we were awarded a grant to promote pedestrian safety. So our traffic units out there throughout the month, looking to educate and enforce pedestrian violations where people aren't stopping for people in a crosswalk, distract the driver, people on cell phones, texting and driving, that sort of thing.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Mitch?
Thank you, Madam President. Just so add, under number 1, A and B have been on here, but I added item letter C, change of corporate structure for Sahani Enterprises, which trades as Turnpike Liquors in Port Reading, to change of ownership. And then I'll drop down to number 7, just to remind Hope Lawn residents who typically have voted in the past over at the Hope Lawn VFW that we'll be moving them probably for a year or two over to the Hope Lawn Firehouse. And in addition, tomorrow I should probably be finalizing the plan to move voters from Buns Lane Community Center for the next year or two over to the building in front of the theater at Warren Park. Okay. So once those plans are all set, we'll notify all the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Landolfi?
Thank you, Council President. Before I start my agenda, just a quick response to some of the comments that we heard from Mr. Chewbacca. He hasn't been here for a while, and I suspect the reason he did come back is because he's grinding an old axe that we've, I'm sorry, I have the floor, that we've heard before. So just a couple of comments to it. And it's in reference to the comment he made about police officers and their police department. Let me say without equivocation that we believe we have the finest police department in the state of New Jersey, and that there's incredible respect for the job that Director Hubner does and Deputy Director Niski do in leading the department, and for all the officers who serve here. And that support is without equivocation or question. Society holds police officers to a very high standard. We hold our police officers to a very high standard. If we had an incident where there was cause for action to be taken, that action was taken and will be taken in the future. And again, that standard's very high. But it should no way reflect negatively upon the officers who serve here, loyally, dedicated, every day, and with our tremendous respect and admiration. And I'm not about to let Mr. Chewbacca or anyone else step to that microphone and denigrate the job that they do, nor the way that we feel about them.
Excuse me, Mr. Chewbacca, if you continue to talk and be disruptive, you will be dismissed. Okay?
On to my agenda, Council President. Thank you for that indulgence. Several things. I think you know that we've acquired, the township has acquired what we refer to as the warden site associated with the prison. We're going to look to transfer that property to the Woodbridge Redevelopment Agency for redevelopment opportunities. We're trying to obtain a grade level crossing at Riverside Drive. That would facilitate a nature area that's being constructed in conjunction with the CPB site. We are asking you to enter into a hazardous materials cost recovery agreement. That's with the County of Middlesex, and really what that does, it lets us recover costs whenever there's a hazmat incident. We're looking to pursue the purchase of 86 Green Street for a museum, a history museum. I know we've talked about that on and off in the past. Hopefully that we'll have completed those negotiations, and if we do, then we'll have two things before you, probably a bond ordinance to appropriate the funds, and also a resolution authorizing the actual acquisition. We have several purchases that are enumerated on my agenda. We have an agreement with T&M for the next phase of our upgrade to the building systems at the Woodbridge Community Center, a refund of tax court judgments, sewer overpayments, and two items I'd like to mention aren't on my agenda. The first is we'll have some housekeeping amendments to our alcohol and beverage control ordinance. And also an issue we've talked about in the past. I think we're on the doorstep of making a recommendation of award for a consultant to review our library operations, both our current operations and prospective operations as we go forward the strategic planning process. I think that we'll have that recommendation of award for you to act on next meeting. And rather lengthy, but that's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. Director Hubner?
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
Director Henry? Oops, Green, Director Green.
Thank you, Council President. I have just one item tonight, and it's a request for a resolution accepting the report and recommendations of the Woodbridge Diversity Committee. That's for the Sustainable Jersey Certification Program. Thank you, Council President.
Director Simaluka.
One item tonight, Council President, the donation from the Mayor's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports. Thank you, Council President.
Director Levesky.
Thank you, Council President. Just our standard biweekly refund resolution. Thank you.
Director Henry.
Thank you, Council President. I have an agreement with Avenel VFW in the township, awarded design contract for the US 1 sanitary sewer reconstruction, a resolution authorizing change order on contract, the 2015 sanitary sewer clean and TV project, and our normal bonding. Thank you.
Legal.
Adjourn.
Adjourned.